Hi everyone, Mason Winfield with Psi-Friday with Mason. In about the dead middle of the summer in Western New York, today we're talking about something I call Gahai Hill. Now you know many ancient societies have had their power mountain. There's a high point that gets a lot of sacred and supernatural folklore. And you know, the line between the sacred and the supernatural is pretty narrow. All religions are in the supernatural business, don't forget that. But down on the Seneca Reservation at Salamanca, New York, there's a hill. It's a mountain. And it's got all kinds of incredible paranormal and supernatural rumors about it. First of all, basically anything you might get of a paranormal nature. UFOs, mystery monsters, ancient mysteries, ghosts, shapeshifters. You get it all on Gahai Hill. And you know, for a long time, the Seneca people have been fairly protective of it. And I would tell you, probably, don't go out there unless you're with a Seneca friend. You can't forget that it's reservation territory. It's not white guy land. You could go to the library, the Seneca Nation library, maybe the Seneca Nation Historical Society, and just ask people. If you're nice, they'll probably tell you where it is. But I should tell you, one of the nicknames of the hill is the Hill of Dead Witches. Because the story goes that Gahai Hill, near Salamanca, is where the witches were buried. And the Seneca, they liked medicine people who had pretty much the same powers as a witch to heal, to take away sicknesses. If they wanted, they could curse you. The great shamans, like the great witches, could turn into animals. They could turn into light forms. But the rumor is that the witches were very heavily persecuted, the malicious witches, people caught doing evil, and that they were buried in this one place on Gahai Hill. And the reason they were all buried in the same place is because their graves, until the body was completely gone, the graves were thought to be powerful places. And you wanted to know where they were because you didn't want to build your house over one. And as for the name, Gahai Hill, now the way you'd spell the Seneca word Gahai would be capital G-A apostrophe H-A-I. And probably you would not capitalize the H-A-I, but you'd say it Gahai. And it means witch light. Now these witch lights, when they talk about one of the Seneca witch lights, I've talked to loads of people who've seen them. I'm not sure I ever have. But the witch light is described as kind of a basketball-sized glowing form. And it's spherical. It's not like flat. You know, it's not like an illuminated frisbee that you hold up like that. It's a light form. And they can move kind of fast through the air, but they don't get up very high. And much of the time, they come in groups, and they don't move that fast, but they are immune to anything you do to them. They'll just move right through a swamp or a woods or something. And I've had some wonderful stories about people seeing them. One of my favorite tales about the Gahai, it occurs to me that I could tell you a lot about these. I have a whole chapter on them in my book, Iroquois Supernatural, 2011, with Bayer and Company, and my dear friend and co-author, Mike Bastine. But I think the story I'll tell you right now is about a witness I met on one of the power mountains. This one was at the Cattaraugus Reservation. They call it Indian Hill. And it overlaps with the village of Gowanus. So it's not entirely Seneca turf. But yet parts of it are thought to be very supernatural. And this gentleman was hunting at night, late at night. Probably a little bit illegal. But he was up there running around late at night. And he saw some of these lights coming through the woods towards him. And he was Seneca, and he was terrified of them because he knew that they can really hurt you if they decide to. So he froze. And one of them went by him real closely as if it knew who he was, and he could see a face in it, a human face inside it. Because among the possibilities in Seneca legend for what the witch lights are, one of them is that they might be markers or sentries. It's like if you bury something in the swamp that's very valuable and maybe you don't want anyone knowing where it is, when you want to find it, you send out your witch light. You just follow it. It'll stop right over it. Another theory is that these witch lights are the astral forms, the disembodied bodies of witches, that that's the way they can travel. You want to get somewhere and have nobody recognize you on the way, just turn yourself into that light and you're there. The third possibility is that you can even see the form. If you get close enough and you hold still enough, you can even see maybe the face of the witch it represents. Gahai Hill. The real name of it is Bay State Hill. But please ask permission before you go up there. Thanks for joining me on another summer episode of Psi-Friday with Mason. Till the next time,